All right. There we go. Pierrick, thanks for coming on. I know you're a busy man.
Yes, no
But
problem.
I think it's cool. We're just starting up a new kind of feature with our wine club, talking to the producers about what they think about the wine and just trying to get a little bit closer to the producers so that our wine club understands what you do and, you know, what it's all about. But if you could explain to us a little bit about this wine and just your thoughts and what you think about it, that'd be awesome.
Yes, so our Bourgogne Côte d'Or, there is 4 different parcels on Volnay, so on the flat, but on the village in Volnay, and we blend 4 parcels, but they are in the good side of the road when you are going to go into Meursault. Our Bourgogne are on the right, so on the good side, because on the north of Volnay, these parcels are classified Volnay village.
Yes.
But the 4 parcels are under the road, and there is a little, and the result is there is no wind during the winter, and we have many diseases by the frost each 10 years. So it's not classified Volnay because for the name of Volnay or notoriety is not a good thing when there is too much frost. So it's classified Bourgogne, but the quality of this Bourgogne are really high. So for me, it's a little Volnay. There is many fruits, red fruits. Each vintage, and the soil is really easy to work during all the season.
How long have you been making that wine? How many years have you been making that classified wine? Was it from 2017, or did you just decide in 2019?
No, before it was classified Bourgogne, and there is a new classification in Burgundy, sorry, since 2017 exact. To separate the Bourgogne made in Beaujolais, in the south of Bourgogne, made with Gamay, grape variety Gamay. And in 17, the new appellation is Bourgogne Côte d'Or. It just to put in the label the grapes are from Côte d'Or. Yes. And so only Pinot Noir.
100% Pinot Noir. Great.
Yes.
What do you think about that 2019 growing season? How was that for you? And maybe compare it to this year.
It was a classic vintage season, a little bit hot, but not too hot, too sunny. The result is really a classic vintage for the Burgundy wine, floral, elegant, not too much structure, really easy to drink. The Bourgogne Côte d'Or 19 is really perfect today after 3 years. And for me, it's yes, the best vintage for the last 10 years for me.
Oh, nice
in
one.
Burgundy.
So everybody's going to enjoy
balance, freshness, really lovely vintage.
Nice. Yeah, it was great for us to come meet you in February and get a better idea of what you're doing in the vineyards. But yeah, I'd love it if you'd just be able to explain to everybody your philosophy from the organics, biodynamics, and just how you feel about your vineyards.
Yes.
Because I think it was a real eye-opener for us to kind of understand and walk with you through those vineyards and see what you're doing, you know?
Yeah, so since I am in the domain since 2009, and I manage really the vines, whole of our 9 hectares since 2014. And we change many things in the vineyard to increase the quality, because all of our vines are aged to average 50 years old. So the yields are always around 35 hectoliters hectares, and the maximum For example, in Volnay village is 50 hectoliters.
Gotcha.
So it's really low yields, but the quality is really important for me. And we change many things in the vineyard. And the first one was to stop I don't think the cutting during the spring by tractor, the cutting of the shoots. And all the vineyards are managed with trellising. So like arche or parcours in French, like a bridge. In French, it's un pont. And like this, the vines they are not stressed during the season. And we increase really the quality of the wines because we have more concentration in the grapes. So very small grapes, very small berries, but really a good concentration. And the quality is really better.
Yeah, it was interesting for us because we could see the vitality and the happiness of the vineyard, and
Exactly.
there were animals, there's undergrowth, the soil looked happy and alive, where in some other areas you see kind of soil that's just doesn't look healthy, looks clean,
plowing always.
Yeah.
So there is exact in the same time we stopped to cut the shoots. We kept the herbs inside the range, and we plow just between the vines. And like this there is more life inside the soil, because when we plow each month, there is no microorganism vivant alive in the soil, and your soil is more dry. And this season really hot. It's really interesting to keep the grass, the herbs, to capture the humidity during the night or during the small rains, and we can spray or do what we want just after some rain, because with the herbs the soil is really easy to work with tractor.
So with the great heat this season, 35, you're saying maybe 40 degrees next week, how are the soils and helping you this year? Are you seeing more health in your vines than some of your neighbors? Do you think there's a difference there for you, or how does it play in to this season?
During this season, yes, I observe for 2 days at the beginning of the hot temperature, many neighbors cut the shoots before the hot temperature, but for me it's not a good thing, because the vines must mobilize the energy to the disease by the cutting. And for me it's more interesting to keep the energy for the grapes and to protect naturally the plant for the sun and the hot temperature. And the vine, like the human, it's easy when it's too hot each day. You don't go to run, for example, because it's too hot, you will be too tired. And the vines is the same. When it's too hot, you must do nothing.
Stagnant.
To don't stress again and again the vines, and mobilize all the energy for the just to the grapes for the maturity.
Yeah, You mentioned that you were doing treatments today, and that you've been
Yes.
doing treatments. What treatments are you doing to assist right now with in the growing
So
season?
actually, it's the last treatment. So seventh spraying this year. So it's quite a good thing. Seven, it's
Low numbers?
normal season. Sometime, for example, in 20, just 5, and last year 9. So it's really the average 7. And I put some sulfur and copper for the mildew and the oidium, the two mushrooms dangerous for the vines.
Yes.
And I put some natural products. So yes, sulfur, and another one to eat the mushrooms. It's some bacteria. They eat the mushrooms, and I put another product to protect the leaves for the hot temperature. But I must do that the night. So I spray 1 tractor this morning and 2 for the next night.
So you're very busy in the vineyard, which
Yes.
means there's more cost in managing your plants than, let's say, if I'm commercially farming beside you and I can just spray whenever I want or do whatever I want.
Yes.
You're spending a lot more time and a lot more energy in the
Yes.
vineyards to get the product you get.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I
For me,
think
it's important to observe all the parcels, all the vineyards each day in partnership with the climate, with the meteo. And like this, we are really reactive. And yes, if we must spray during the night, no problem, because to make the wines, we worked 1 year, and you will be so the wines will be in bottle on your table in 2 years. So it's really important. For me, it's nothing to spray 1 night, 2 nights. There is no importance.
Yes.
For the quality and our parcels.
Yeah, it's interesting because people talk about organics and I think they get removed from it, but just how important it is and how big a difference it makes and how much more work it is for you to do in a vineyard to make sure things are done properly. And that is reflected in the bottle. We see it when we taste in Burgundy and we taste your wines, we taste other producers that are working organically or working with the soils or working with the vines. You really see a difference in the end result, and
yes,
that's becoming more and more apparent, I think, with the climate change, the way that it is,
yes.
That's wild. If it's not frost, it's heat. If it's not heat, it's something else. It's pretty wild right now, isn't it? When do you think we're going to have another normal growing season? When do you think we'll have a normal growing season?
There is no normal season now. There is always a new challenge, and for me it's really interesting because there is no easy vintage. You learn a lot with the bad or hard vintage, and you increase the quality vintage after vintage.
What is your favorite thing about working in a wine business in the vineyards? Is it the winemaking? What if there's one thing that you love? What
there is no winemaking here, because when we have beautiful grapes, the harvest is really the holidays for me. We just observe the beautiful grapes, we put in vats, we do nothing, all distempt, and after 1 month they are in barrels, and we wait 1 year, and you bottling, and it's on your tables. So for me, I love go to the vineyards, but we must do many other things. But I don't like so much the tractor, because for me it's like drive a car, so it's not interesting. But yes, all works are interesting for me all during the season.
Yeah, and maybe sometime you can come to Bermuda and taste some wines with us. That would be a fun part of the job.
Yes.
Pierrick, I know you're busy. Thank you for your time today. I really
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
Matt.
Yeah, yeah.
With my pleasure.
We'll
No
talk
problem.
soon.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.